welcome to part two of episode 7. So this is now episode 8. I say it's part 2 because I'm filming it on the same hour, but I'm just cutting up the episodes just as a little tester. But yeah, this is coming around. This is like episode 8, so I've done like 8 of these. But yeah, probably it's been like maybe a month or maybe 5 weeks of doing podcasting. I enjoy it. It's like an hour of like things that I want to talk about and think about and um, things that I've done. It's a little nice little recording. But yeah, what I wanted to talk about was so yesterday. So was it this week or last week? I so the person who I'm staying with, she works in the film industry. Um, yeah, she works. I believe like she's like a producer, but she's a screenwriter. She does loads of things within film companies. And also she's like an event coordinator during the film festival. I think her brother works at a venue, and so she helps him out. And so she kind of does a little bit the same job that I do. I do take a team, see people, make sure everybody's happy. But like she knows a lot of people in the film industry, and she asked me one evening if I wanted to be an extra for an upcoming Australian film. And I was like, yeah, yes, I will. Yeah, I'll do it. And she was like, oh, well, it's one of these, she's like one of these people where she'll like offer you something and then afterwards she would like downplay it. So she'd be like, oh, do you want to be an extra? And I'm like, yeah. And she was like, oh, well, it's not going to be paid. You get like a little voucher for like a shop and it's €80 and it's quite far out. I was like, I've already said yes. Well, you know, you want me to change my mind? I was like, no, I said to her, I was like, I just do it for the experience, just like the story. And she was like, oh yeah, but it's just kind of nice where they're filming it. It's like in the Adelaide Hills, and the person who I was staying with, she grew up in that area, and she was telling me a little bit about it, and it's very nice. Apparently, it's very rich. That's in the wealthy. That's where all the wealthy people stay. And so she was doing it, and so she offered, and then that evening she was like, okay, well, I'm going to send a message to the director and see if he or the agency see if they still need you because they asked me like earlier today, and they might have already found people. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, just let me know. And I was like, oh yeah, but if yeah, what time are you leaving? She's like, well, we have to leave pretty early. We probably have to leave here at 9. So yeah, wake up at like 8:30. I was like, okay, sure, I'll wake up. So I woke up at 8, and I received a message being like from my landlady saying, hey, maybe it's best if like I haven't. She was like, oh, haven't received a reply from the director or the agency. So maybe it's best if you stay at home because I would hate it if you come and they don't actually need you. And I was like, okay, no worries, I'm up anyway, so I guess whatever, I'm just gonna do my own thing. But then afterwards she was like, actually, and then I think she could receive a phone call and they were like, oh yeah, okay, we need, yeah, it'd be great if you could bring him. So I was like, okay, sure, bring me. I get so take me. So we went there and it was fun. We talked a lot in the car. But then afterwards we go there. It's very I did a little bit of extra work in Paris. Like they were looking for the thing that I did. It was for a French series which was released on Canal Plus, and it's with like a really famous French actress. I don't remember her name, but she has like a very iconic nose, very pointy, which I heard that she's kind of like insecure about. But she's like very famous. I think she's famous for that because she looks kind of very French. She's very French looking and with a pointy nose, and I think yeah they were looking. for people that look and dress English. It was either they were looking for two types of people: people that looked and dressed very English, and punk rock people. So I remember in the rating room there was there was visibly these two types of people, why they were selected. There was there was like me, who was kind of like a mod with my like Harrington jacket and white t-shirt, like my Doc Marten boots, and then there was these punk rock goths who will have these like piercings and these leather and chains dangling down their pants, and it was funny to see. And I was there with a comedian friend, Elsbeth. We did it. We just did it for the shits and giggles. That's why I was like, he was like, oh, it pays £100. Like, I'll just do it. And honestly, extra work is pretty boring. Like, it's a lot of waiting around and a lot of like. I remembered in Paris it was so much, especially like it was like late at night, so it felt like kind of longer because there was. I think we started at like we had to be there at 8, and it finished. Normally we were supposed to finish at 4, but at 4 at 2, but it finished at 4, and it was just we were waiting in the cold for quite a while, and we got like a free meal, but like and we're €100, but I was like, oh, I'm never gonna do this. I said to myself, I will never do extra work again, never again. It was so boring. You're like waiting around. You're trying to every time you see the camera, you're like, oh, maybe I'll be in shots or something like that. But but then afterwards, I was like, okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. She said it will only last for a couple of hours, and I was like, okay, And I was working that evening, so I was like, okay, as long as I finish before 6, I'm good. And she was like, no, normally I said I'll finish at 1. I'm like, okay, 1, perfect. So we get there. It's probably about 10. They're filming a scene, and it's a small crew. It's the director, the cameraman, the assistant director, and maybe three, four, maybe two, three other people who were like makeup and costume and coordinators. And it's pretty small. They were filming at this cafe called Cafe Vert in French. Usually that's the Green Cafe. They were filming that, and the title of the film is Blossoming Love. Yeah, Blossoming Love. Yeah, it sounds like a film that you see. It's like these, I don't know if you've been on like streaming websites and you go into like the romance area, and it's just the same film. It's like the same cover but with different titles and different people. you know, Blossoming Love, or you know, Raging Romance. You know, Under the Mistletoe. Um, Kiss Me While You Can. The Last Letter. It's just like all these, and it does kind of like I heard a little bit of it, like when you're doing extra work. I will you probably will see me on film, like you see me having a pretend conversation with my landlady, and um and drinking invisible coffee, and we do walk off scene. But yeah, just the dialogue. I think it's about so the two actors are Australian, but they're playing American, and I think it's about this woman who she seems to be like this influencer, and she's like into the environment now, and she's in Australia, and she's traveling, and she's here to save birds and wildlife, and he is this corporate America businessman, and he's there to convince her about the projects there was this one line that made us both laugh when it was like he he said, "Ah, so Australia has made you soft." That's just so funny, and just the way he said it was just like it was so like cheesy. So Australia has made you soft. Yeah, that's made me laugh. Where it's like you know you just think you just like Australia will be like the least country that will make you soft because everything wants to kill you. But yeah, it just also there's another cheesy point moment where I was like, um, we were having, they were sitting outside. They were having like a little coffee out. They were having a coffee outside, and the waitress comes to bring him the coffee. And the waitress, she's like, oh. And the guy and the waitress are like flirting, and but she was like, oh, here's your coffee, sir. And he was like, oh, thank you. And she's like, oh, where are you from? And he's like, New York. And she goes, and it's like I work as a waiter. That would never happen. Like she reacted to New York as if as if it's like this exotic, like she'd never heard of it. Like, oh my God, New York, like, or she'd never met a person from New York in her entire life. And I just thought it was so funny. And also, like as I said, I worked as a waiter. You do flirt, but you're not flirting because you're like, oh, you know, I hope, she's gonna give me her number or her Instagram, whatever. I flirt when I'm waitering or when I'm working just so I can get more tips, just so I can get more money. And that's it. I don't care about you. I don't care about. No, it's not like I don't care about you, but it's just like I just do it for the money. Like I'm nice, I smile, just so I get those chains. And when it's Americans, my charm goes up. But apparently in Australia they don't tip as much, so um, um, uh, but yeah, I need to send a message. But yeah, so I did that extra work, which was fun. It was good. It was like easy. Everybody was nice. Um, I don't know when it's gonna come out. But it's one of those things where I'd be like, I'm gonna forget about it. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh okay, and then it's like Elspeth, when she was like she posted something about being in the thingy, it's like being in the thingy, and I was like, oh, I can't be bothered looking it up because you probably won't see me. Um, but yeah, but I think here you'll see me because the director was like, oh, you guys are in shot, and the Richard was like, oh, okay, and but we only did like two, three, four shots, and it was good. She was happy with us. She was like, great pacing. I'm like, hell yeah, pacing, because we had to edit. And then after we shot all of that, we went to she told me, the person that I'm staying with, Kelly. She told me that we were only 10 minutes from Hahndorf, and we've spoken about Hahndorf before because when I first came here, I was like, oh, my sister's boyfriend's stepmom, she's from Germany, and she spoke about Hahndorf, so I like to go and visit. And she was like, oh yeah, you should. But like, yeah, we went to Hahndorf, and it is what you would expect from a small country town that has a little history and a little niche to it. It's become quite touristy in the sense that like all the shops and restaurants w- were really like playing up to the fact that this is like a Germany, like this. I've been to Germany, no shops are like that. But yeah, it was like there was a shop which was full of like these beer mugs and these nutcrackers and these wooden clocks and cowbells, and it was just like so, and it's just funny. Like I'm just wondering, like who would buy this German Australian stuff? I guess people in Australia would be like, oh yeah, we went to Hahndorf. But like some of the things were like pretty expensive, like 100, $200 dollars. So it's kind of like bizarre. But yeah, so we went there. We got a pretzel because she likes like my landlady. She has like family German roots, and she was like saying her great grandparents were German. So we went there, and also I wanted to buy little postcards. So I bought a few, and I sent one to so yeah, the stepbrother, no, the stepmom of my sister's boyfriend. I sent them one, and I hope she will receive it relatively soon. I love that's another thing. I love sending postcards to people. So yeah, went to Hahndorf. We didn't stay there too long. Maybe like half an hour, just because it was just kind of like okay, and also we had stuff to do. So um, but yeah, yeah, I'm a bit like so yeah. We just walked around a little bit. We're like, oh, it's a very nice town, but yeah, it's become very touristy. And like you just like everybody there, you can just tell like no more Germans live there anymore, or like they probably like left, or maybe like a very few, but yeah, but yeah, very nice. And um yeah, so what I'm talking about, yeah, so yeah, I don't know what other places. I still need to go to the beach. That's another thing I need to do. I still need to go to the beach, and to the zoo, and to Barbarossa. Um, but yeah, life is good. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I don't know if I'm gonna go to Melbourne or if I should go back to Perth. Like if I go to Melbourne, I need to ask Sharon. I'm like, hey, Terry was almost gonna give me a contact for Melbourne. Um, but I need to ask her. I need to ask her two things: Melbourne and if I can get half my money, and because I have a place to stay, so I could stay at theirs. And then I have a comedian friend from Paris. She's now living in Melbourne, so I'm gonna go there. But so yeah, I would like to go to Melbourne. But if not, I'll just go back to Perth and continue writing and keep performing, try and get my own place. At least I make a little. I don't know. I need a little bit of money. That's what I need. Oh, I finished. I'll just do another couple of more minutes. Yeah, no, well, I'll see what I do. But yeah, this has been Pomming Around. So yeah, I've been seeing a little bit more of Australia. I told you about it. Um, yeah, I'll see you next week. Cheerio. Ta ta, everybody.